Hello everyone, I'm Riya Kumari and welcome to the first episode of Theorem of Law by the Losters with Advocate Sahil Devani on the future of litigation. The Losters is a student-run initiative dedicated to providing a common platform for the benefit to the legal profession and the society as a whole. The objective of this initiative is to have a conversation with the members of the legal fraternity and to know about their opinion and perspectives towards the legal contemporary issues at hand and unified space for the legal knowledge and legal opinion derived from the interviews that we are conducting. Today we have with us Advocate Sahil Devani, practicing in Bombay High Court and works in Devani and Associates, with our host this evening, Sharvari Manapare.
So the topic of today's interview is the future of litigation, a fruitful future better than the past. So owing to your experience of becoming the successful lawyer that you are today, what is your stance on the major ambiguity that is faced by the law students about the ideal proportion of the constituents of a good CV with respect to CGPA, internships, publications, moot court, competitions, etc.?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for inviting. It's always an opportunity, good opportunity to interact with the youngsters and help in some way whatsoever. And I would like to correct you, I'm not a successful lawyer. I'm also a junior member at the bar. I don't think any junior member should say that they are successful. So I'll guide you as much as I can. So your first question is regarding a good prospects of a good CV, right?
Yes, sir.
So for a good CV, first you should understand whether what you want in your life, whether you want to go into litigation, whether you want to go into corporate, whether you want to go to judiciary. Accordingly, you need to plan your career. See, initially, I understand for the first 3-4 years, a law student is uncertain what profession, what field of law a person needs to go. So what is important is how seriously you take your internships. You should actually get an experience of a court visit, even if you're going into some other field of law, but you should understand how the courts work, how the judicial system works. So you should take your internship very seriously. The next is that your basics of law should be clear, irrespective of what profession you go into, what field of law you go into. Your basics should be clear. Like if a client comes to you or if a person comes to you, you should know all the nuances of law, and you should be able to help them. And you should try to gain maximum exposure. Like if you're going for internships, you should do diversified internships. If you don't belong to a family of legal background, then you are a bit uncertain whether you want to go into litigation, corporate. Coming from a legal background, I was always certain that I need to go into a litigating field of law. But for other students, it is important to gain as much as exposure they can so that they understand what they like and what they don't like. Then it comes to participation of the competitions. Like you should go into all competition, debates, moot courts. Wherever you get an opportunity, you should participate in that, because you will understand what is your true calling. Like if you are good in debates, if you're good in moot courts, if you're good in writing, so you will understand if you participate in these competitions. And more importantly, your fear will go, your fear of performance, your fear before appearing before moot courts. So this fear factor will also go, your research will be improving, your drafting analytical skills will also improve. And apart from this, you need to be aware about what is going on in the society at large, because even if you read something, you should know how to apply that law into the general affairs of the society. Like now in COVID times, you should be aware what is the law, how the law is developing, how the judicial system is working during these COVID times. So for a good CV, it is important to have an overall perspective about what you want to do in life.
Right, sir. Thank you about it. Sir, as we all are aware today that law is an intriguing profession, and every year the number of students looking forward to litigation has been increasing. What is your advice for first generation lawyers who would like to establish themselves in litigation? If you have to provide any kind of certain guidelines for the fresh graduates towards the pathway of success in litigation, what would it be?
See, as you said that litigation is increasing and the number of students who are coming into litigation are also increasing. The first important factor is you need to be patient. If you're joining litigation, you need to be patient, because for the first 5 years, 6 years, or maybe 10 years, you will not have your own clientele. You will not be getting that much amount of money which you will be earning in other professions. So the first thing is that you need to be patient. You need to understand that money will not come that quickly. You need to understand that it's important to learn what is law, how the practice is working, And the another important aspect is that you need to go into a good office and good chambers who encourage juniors. Because what happens is that if you don't get a good office or a good chambers, then what will happen is that you will be dissuaded and you will not want to go into litigation. But that is not the case. Litigation is, for me at least, litigation is the most exciting field of law, because there are new challenges which is coming up every day. If you acquire the knowledge, ultimately, even if you go into corporate or any other field of law, ultimately the end goal is litigation. Somehow the matter or somehow the dispute should land before the courts. So you need to be aware how the litigating system works, and you need to be patient. And another important factor is that you don't need to run for money. Money will come after you. If you have seen senior lawyers who charge into lakhs and lakhs of rupees, so you need to acquire that skill and you need to work on that skill so that money will run after you. Don't have to run after money. So my basic advice would be patient, don't run after money, and get good chambers and work dedicatedly and honestly. Don't be frustrated within 2 3 years of joining the profession that you're not getting that success. It is very natural for a first generation lawyer to get frustrated because they don't get that recognition which a second generation or third generation lawyer gets. But ultimately, if you compare a first generation lawyer with a second generation lawyer, they're on a better footing because they don't have the fear of performance. They are not
Right.
compared with their grandfathers or fathers. They just have to perform on their own merit. So that's a good thing for a first generation lawyer. And if they make a name for themselves, then it's good. At least that pressure is not there.
Yes, sir, correct. Sir, so now that we're dealing with the unprecedented times of COVID-19, how do you think the students who wish to pursue litigation should be prepared to venture into the field now that we're in the middle of pandemic?
See, now I understand that physical internships and physical court visits are almost an uncertainty for another 5 to 6 months. So, as a junior lawyer or as a lawyer who is interested into litigation or as an intern, you should concentrate on virtual internships. You should get associated with lawyers, ask for work. If they permit physical hearing or if they permit you to come to office, it's well and good. But ultimately, you need to understand that now is the time where you can sharpen your basics of law. You can understand how the law works. And now there are some high courts which are coming up with the idea of live streaming. So if that is done, that is the best thing for interns, because you can have access to all the courts and you can gain knowledge how the courts are working and how different high courts are working. Like as of now, if you see that, it's a big opportunity. If this live streaming works or if the virtual hearing works, it's a big opportunity for the litigating lawyers because they can appear before other high courts as well. I was hearing an interview of Hari Salvi was saying that every half an hour he is before different high court and also appearing before the Honorable Supreme Court. So that is the best thing a lawyer can do in this time. So as a junior lawyer, you need to be patient because now virtual hearing is going on. So I don't think junior lawyers are permitted to be given links. But if ultimately live streaming is done, then you can have access to it and gain knowledge.
Right, sir. Thank you about it. Sir, one of the major dilemma that is faced by the law students after graduation is which of the two diverged roads should a law student opt for? Should it be practicing in a reputed chamber or starting your own? Please enlighten us about your views about this.
See, given to me, there's no two option. There's only one option. You need to join a good chamber, good office, because there's nothing called as a perfect lawyer from day one. You will require at least 5 years, 10 years to acquire all the knowledge. And until and unless you don't go to an office where on regular basis work is given. Now, if you start afresh your own office or your own chambers, then you won't have the clientele. Even if you get the clientele, you won't understand the procedure. Even if you understand the procedure, you will not be able to understand how a judge is to be handled, how the queries is to be answered, how filing is to be done, how research is to be done. Because at least for 5 years, a person needs to go to a good office, good chambers, because he needs to understand how the system works. See, internships is good because internships, it's only for 1 month, 2 months. I don't think someone will intern with the same office for like 5 years or 3 years of their law career. So it is important that you should be associated to an office and understand how the system works. So there's no second option of starting your own chambers because you need to understand how the system works.
Yes, sir. Thank you about it. Sir, other than that, while in the peak of law school, most of the law students face the dilemma regarding what's next. So how does LLM after undergraduate courses help the law students in shaping their career? Owing to your experience, what are your views about distinction between LLM in India and LLM outside India?
See, if you want to do LLM in India, it is might as well you go abroad, you gain an opportunity, because see, commercial disputes and commercial litigation is only available in bigger cities as well as abroad. If you compare a small city like say Nagpur, I don't want to compare it with bigger cities, but if you see the exposure, if you want the exposure, if you want the commercial intellect or how intellectual property rights work, how cyber criminals are dealt with, for this exposure and experience, you need to go abroad, because even if you pursue education in India, you won't get that insight. And that exposure is also important, because you get an exposure that this is how other countries are working, because you have completed your 5 years or 3 years course in India. So you might as well gain an additional experience by going abroad, and you widen your horizon. Even if you want to do LLM, because personally I don't feel LLM is nothing, it's nothing more than gaining opportunity or exposure. It doesn't help you intellect wise unless you're planning to go into a profession which requires LLM mandatorily. So
All
exposure
right, sir.
wise, it's a good option.
All right, sir. So thank you for your enlightening interview. Over to you, Ria.
Thank you, Mr. Sahil Devani, for connecting with us. I wish you the best in all that you do. Keep inspiring us with the future of your litigating journey. Thank you for watching this. We'll be back soon with our next guest. Until then, stay connected, stay safe. Stay safe.